Hey guys, what's going on? So this is something that I know I've done a video on, and I feel the need every so often to redo the video, and it's how would I spend money in this game? That if I wanted to spend money in this game, what is the most efficient way to do it? And this comes about because Kavu00, or maybe it's just Kavu. Maybe he's a ghost. Kavu. He decided to comment on this thing, and this was on one of my newest videos, where this game is and where it's headed. And he commented, "That's why I stopped spending money on the game. They just fucked it up." Right now, coming in like that hard and that aggressive, I understand this kind of person. This is the kind of person, like, just that comment alone, right? It's a person that probably doesn't spend a lot in this game anyway, probably doesn't, like, barely wants to buy the season pass, right? The $10 for a season pass. This game is fucked up because, you know, like, everything is charged, right? You know, like that's what that singular comment screams to me, right? And I wanted to be funny about it, and I was just like, but now you can buy profitably. Oh, by the way, if you aren't on the Discord, buy profitably is the newest thing, and I just had to make a meme because it's specifically buy profitably epic fragments. And so if you want to support my meme, I thought this was really funny. It was back when Epic they just introduced epic expeditions to where you could get 4 epic shards on a legendary. What's it called? A legendary expedition. And now like, they're like, oh no, we don't want that. And it's like, oh, you know what we do want? We want you to buy profitably instead. If you don't understand my buy profitably joke, I have a buy profitably like video. I could link you to it if you want it, comment down below and I'll link you to that video if you don't want to search for it. But buy profitably is just one of my memes that they decided to create in the month of December by just doing like a buy profitably thing every like, it was like every other week or it was very often is my point. Anyway, and so I was like, but now you can buy profitably, right? And I just wanted to make a joke. I was just like, maybe he understands my meme joke. He did not. So he said, if I want to progress, I need to spend around 500 PLN, which is Polish money, just to progress. If I don't want to pay, I need to stay in place and bark like a dog. It's just unfair of what they are doing. So I, very much so, needed to know what 500 PLN is. And in US money, that's $132. So now his thing is that if he doesn't spend $132 per month, then he just has to take the shit and get what's given to him and bark like a dog, and you know, those greedy developers, right? $132 a month. And so I needed to know, I was like, what are you spending $132 a month? Now, I'll spare you the in-between, but he basically said that it's the Season Pass, Hero Tavern, Premium, and 4 event passes. As in the 4 events that happen weekly. Like Royal Trials, Rush for Glory, Mirror Match. He's spending on all of it. He has to buy all of it, or else he has to take what's given to him and bark like a dog, and it's so unfair. Because he needs to buy every single thing. That seems crazy. I am a mid-level spender, and I feel like a lot of people would look at my account and think that I've spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on my account, and I definitely have not. I don't, like, the thing that gets you into that realm is having like 3 level 100 legendary heroes and like max equipment, max hero equipment. right? If you have like all of the heroic items, that's the amount like that you've probably have spent. If you have like all of the heroic items, you have them all maxed out, you have like all of the legendary heroes at level 100, that's when you get into that hundred thousands of dollars, like twenties of thousands of dollars, $30,000, $40,000, right? But I feel like a large quantity of people would look at my account and think that I spend what he's saying of $132 a month, every year since I've started. And that's simply not true. Even if you added up all of the amount that I've like whaled out on like the Treant event, I spent a lot of money. I spent like $200 on the Treant event when that happened because I really wanted Treant because it was a Forest faction unit. Ironically, they then released Phoenix and I was like, God damn it. But I spent like $200 on like the Treant event, and that's the most I've ever spent on a singular event. I spent $50 to get a mermaid to epic. I'm sorry, a mermaid to level 5, back when 20 was the max. I spent like $50 at once to get a mermaid to level 5 so I could get the bubbles because they reworked mermaid. Those are the two big items that I spent. And then like season pass. And every so often I buy into events, right? I almost never buy Hero Tavern. I currently am. Because there was a big part of me that almost didn't want to buy the season pass. I think I still am gonna do it, simply because of the star coins. I'm eventually going to get a level 14 kobold at some point, and then in order to get it to 15, you can very easily just do it through buying the season pass over and over, as opposed to buying more event passes over and over, because you're already going to do it to get it to 14 to begin with. And so I'm almost there anyway. I'm at 12 star coins. So like, you know, one more, and then I guess if I just switch to buying Hero Tavern instead, I could do it that way, getting like 1 star coin per 1 star coin. Yeah, here it is. 1 star coin per. And then I'm more so for my account working on heroic tokens, and that's why I would buy into the Hero Tavern. But if I was suggesting, like, what do you need to buy in this game? You don't need to spend $132 a month. There is simply no reason to buy Premium Pass. In the amount of time that Premium has been out, I have never bought it. The idea that it's $15.99 is a crazy amount. I think if it was $10, I would consider it and probably still not do it. But at $15.99, that's a crazy amount. That's a crazy amount on top of everything else. When everything else is $10, $15.99 for this is crazy. There is no benefit to buying Premium Pass. And I think the biggest benefit is no ads. And I was a content creator for a little bit, and I got no ads. And now that I'm not a content creator, watching ads is not really that big of a deal. I thought it was going to be more of a bigger deal to me, and I don't care. And some people are going to start to list off, you know, like all of these benefits. They're just going to write in a comment, yeah, but like additional rush quest reroll, but yeah, but like possibility of replacing expedition support team. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I have not bought Premium Pass since it's been out, and I have not cared at all. I have not felt like I'm missing out on literally anything. It has never bothered me whatsoever to not spend $15.99 per month. So there's $15.99 per month down. Hero Tavern, as much as I want to say that it's much better now, and I did an entire video of that, I do think that the Hero Tavern rewards are now better than what they used to be. With this box and the experiment coins, I wouldn't suggest this either. For the majority of time that I have spent in this game, I have mostly never bought Hero Tavern. I want to say the amount of times that I bought Hero Tavern is probably 4, at most. Which is why I don't have a lot of heroic items. But heroic items, it really just depends on, like, heroic items are such an end game level thing. It's kind of like crying that you don't have Reincarnation 3 things right now. You could, but it's a very end game level thing. It would be like crying when you start the game that you don't have every legendary maxed out yet and you've been playing for a year. That's insane. Like, this is a very long game based game. Like, you need to understand that you are going to play this game for a very long period of time. And if you are trying to play it for a very short period of time and you complain about how much it costs, that's just how the game works. Like, you cannot, but there are things that you should spend money on. But you also don't need to spend $132 per month, is my point. Hero Tavern is a very end game level thing. If you are spending money on Hero Tavern, you should be spending money on the game. And in terms of the game, if there's an event that comes out, you're going to be spending a lot of gems spinning the wheel. At which point, Hero Tavern becomes a very plausible thing. Getting to 40,000 during an event is very, very achievable. It happens to me almost every single time. I get to around 40,000, and at that point, buy Hero Tavern. Because you're buying into events, like an event unit, right? When an event unit comes out that you really want, that seems really good, or it seems really cool, Twilight Ranger is going to come out, right? You don't need to, like, if you were to spend money on anything in this game, Season Pass. Season Pass gives you so many rewards for $10. That's something. Event passes. I would argue that you should probably max out one unit. Max out one event unit. Buy a season pass until you max out one event unit. Now, they've put other things in here, which is very smart of them. They put a gunslinger in here, they put a kobold in here, and now both of those are being used in basically every deck. But you need to max out one event unit. You don't need to max out all of the event units. You should probably max out one event unit. If you maxed out a Genie, if you maxed out a Phoenix, you'd be doing pretty well for a pretty long period of time. If you spent the time to max out a single Genie and to then buy the season pass, right? And you bought the season pass like over and over and over, and you got the star coins. Eventually, when you got to a level 14 Genie, you could automatically upgrade it to a 15 and you'd be done. And you could be riding that for so long. Whenever Genie came out, Genie has basically been pretty good since it came out. You can go on the Rush Royale official and find out when Genie came out, and that's the amount of time that you have had with Genie being good, or reasonably good, or top 5 good, or top 7 good. And right now, it's top 2 good. And like Phoenix just came out. Phoenix is still pretty good. Spirit Master has been downgraded to a regular unit. It's not even an event unit anymore. And now you can free to play farm it, and that's very good. My point in making this video is that there is no reason for you to spend $132 per month or 500 PLN. There are smart ways to spend money in this game if you want to spend money in this game, that you don't need to spend that quantity of money into this game. And I feel like if you feel like the only way to have fun in this game is spending $132 a month, and you don't have $132 a month, then play a different game. If you feel like that's the only way to progress in this game, and that you have to have a season pass, and you have to have a heroic tavern, and you have to have premium, and you have to spend, you have to buy into every single event that comes around, and you have to buy everything in the sales. You have to buy this Archmage chest, and you have to buy this progress pack, and you have to buy the 2 orbs, and you have to buy the chest of fragments, and you have to buy the experiment coins, and you have to buy the winners pack. And you have to buy just and like you need to buy like 30 Archmage chests per month, right? In order to feel like you're just staying afloat, right? If that's how you feel, then I think you need to make better choices. And focus on what you actively need in this game, because you don't need everything. I just told you everything that I buy per month, that I've never bought the premium pass, that I have bought the Hero Tavern pass maybe 4 or 5 times in total in the 3 years that I've been playing this game. I think it's been 3 years. It might be 2 years. End of 2020 or 2025 I'm sorry, 2021. 2021 is when I started this game. I believe this game came out in 2020, and I believe I started in the next year. And I've just been playing all the time. And I buy like a season pass per month, and I've bought into events. There was a big chunk of time when I stopped paying into events, when they were only giving you 1 unit per, when the total amount was 100 tokens, and you only got one unit per $10. And I thought that was just extremely bad value. And so I stopped paying into it for that period of time. And then now that it's like 180 tokens, I think that that's much better, obviously. And so I've recently started buying back into events. And this is my account. And I haven't spent hundreds of, or like 20s of thousands of dollars in this game. You need to spend in this game what you can afford. That's a you problem. If you can't afford anything, then you can't spend anything. And at which point, if the game is not fun to you to play free to play, then maybe this isn't the right game for you. There's another game that I play called Evermerge, and I've basically almost never like spent money in that game. There are things that you can buy in the game, but I've never felt the need to buy anything in the game, and I can freely play it as a free-to-play player, and I'm not angry about it. There's a lot of people that play this game very casually and have a lot of fun with it, and they don't spend anything. Because eventually you will get everything. Eventually, just by playing the game. It'll take you much longer. And if that's a problem for you, then $10 on a season pass will get you pretty far. If you have more money to spend, and you have the ability to spend like $40, yeah, event passes to get 2 units every single event. And now it's even better to buy into events, because now you're getting bonus orbs for the rest of your cards. For the longest time that I've been spending into events, I was not getting bonus orbs. I maxed out a Spirit Master and didn't get bonus orbs for that. I maxed out a Tesla and didn't get bonus orbs for that. And now you're getting bonus orbs for just maxing out good cards. You're getting double value out of the $10 that you're spending into this event and maxing out a good card that will carry you, and that's allowing you to get bonus orbs for other cards in order to upgrade your crit. You're double dipping on this. You have to spend as much as you're willing to spend, as much as you want to spend. It's kind of like when people go to Vegas and people become gambling addicts, when they develop a gambling addiction. And they go to Vegas and they drop $100,000 and they say, gambling sucks because I just lost $100,000 and it's so unfair and it's and you know the casino is all rigged. I don't have $100,000 to spend, and so I would go and spend the amount that I'm willing to lose, and that's it. But if you want to be angry about it because you spend stupidly, that becomes a you problem. There are smart ways to spend into this game. And spending $132 a month or 500 PLN is not the way to do it. If you make more than 500 PLN per month and can do this, if you make, 30,000 PLN per month and 500 PLN per month is not a big deal, then do it. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But if you're saying that 500 PLN is too much to spend in this game, then get rid of some of the things that you don't need to spend money on. You don't need to spend money on everything. Now, I did an example here where I said, then you need to buy, the legendary pack, and you need to buy the Archmage, you need to buy 30 Archmage chests, right? That's ridiculous, right? That's a ridiculous sentence. Why would somebody need to buy 30 Archmage chests? I would argue, why do you feel the need to buy premium? I've never bought premium. I will never stop reiterating this. I have never bought premium for the length of time that premium has been out, and I've felt that I've lost nothing. I have not felt any loss for not buying premium. And I made this joke I need to buy the progress pass for $10. I need to buy the chest of frag. You don't need to buy everything. You don't need to buy 4 events per month. Maybe some months you don't want to spend, that amount of money. Just buy 1 event. Buy 2 events. The season pass is a reasonable per month thing. But you definitely don't need to buy Hero Tavern if you're not spending a large quantity of gems, which is yet another layer of you need to buy gems in order to spend gems in order to advance in the Hero Tavern. And if you're not doing that as well on top of Hero Tavern, then there's no reason to buy Hero Tavern. If you're just getting to 20,000, if you're just getting to somewhere in this area, then there's no reason to buy into Hero Tavern if you're not getting all of these other rewards. Then you're just wasting $10. It would be like if you bought a season pass and only got to a level 30. Or you only got to 38. You only do enough quests per month to get to 38. Then there's no reason. Get the maximum value out of your money. Because you don't need to spend 500 PLN per month in order for this game to work. And if you have the money to spend 500 PLN per month, then do it. But if you don't have to. And this game still works. And it just comes down to decisions. It just comes down to what are the other decisions that you're making in this game? What are you choosing to upgrade? What are you choosing to use your experiment coins on? What are you choosing to upgrade? If anything, this game punishes stupidity. It allows you to buy things, but it doesn't give you the skill required for using the things that you just bought. You could buy... Oh my god, where is it? You could buy Chest of Fragments. You could spend $100 on this. There's no limit on this. It's $5. You get your choice of any of these, of any of the rewards, right? You could spend $100 doing this. And if you decide to spend all of that on, I don't know, on an Amulet of Weakness, on maxing out an Amulet of Weakness, and you spend $100 to max out an Amulet of Weakness, and then you get rid of it, and then you forge it, you go to forge, and then you disassemble it, right? And then you go, oh no, right? Oh no, this game is stupid. I just spent $100 on Amulet of Weakness, maxing out my Amulet of Weakness, and the game let me disassemble it, right? That's a you problem. That becomes a you problem. The game didn't require you to do that. You chose to do that. You chose to spend that money. You chose to do what you did with the money that you chose to spend on, right? You don't need to buy everything. And the idea that you think that you need to buy everything in order to keep, quote unquote, keep up with this game is insanity. These things are available if you want to. And that's a big thing. If you want to. If you want to, you can spend money on doing this. Because that's your choice. It is your choice to go to Vegas and drop $100,000 in the same way that it's my choice to go to Vegas and spend $100. Because I don't have a lot of money. But if you spend $100,000 and put everything on black and it comes up red and you lose, that's a you problem. Like, I did an entire video, which is what this is based on. And it's where this game is and where it's headed. And I talked about the decisions that they decided to make, about reincarnations and, Bard and Genie getting reincarnations, and how, this entire update is very money based. It's very monetarily based, right? That now you need to upgrade a Genie and a Bard, and those are getting reincarnations, and most normal people can't even get reincarnations, right? And that they're coming out with another unit, right? They're coming out with Twilight Ranger. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not maxing out Twilight Ranger. I can complain that, I think that that's crazy that they're already coming out with another unit as opposed to, upgrading anything else. And that was my entire purpose of my entire video. But I'll also tell you that I'm not dropping $1,000 to max out a Twilight Ranger minute one, like a Godlike Mike, or like what was previously a Friend Gaming. Like minute one, as soon as the event drops, they will have already maxed it out. Reincarnation 3'd it. Just so that they can test it, right? That's not me. That's not how I don't have that amount of funds, right? And my enjoyment out of this game isn't based on, can I spend $1,000 for this overpriced Twilight Ranger? Oh, this game sucks then. I can't get Twilight Ranger, minute one. This game sucks then, right? That's not my enjoyment out of this game. What's my Phoenix? What level is my Phoenix right now? I have a level 9 Bard. I have a level 11 Genie that I've been trying to max out. I have a level 8 Phoenix. I haven't upgraded Phoenix since it came out in events. I got it to a level 8 during the event and haven't touched it since. I don't care. Why? Because I don't have the funds to care. And so I choose to not care. And yet here I am making videos about how cool I think that Blade Dancer is. And I took the time to max out a Gunslinger, and I took the time to max out to try to max out a Kobold. My hard focus right now is a Kobold. And once I do that, I'll be fine. Like, I don't care. I will always lose to Phoenix. I will always lose to like a maxed out Genie deck. I will always lose to legendary heroes, right? I'll always lose to somebody who has a, you know, a level 80 Zeus, right? I'm in League 9. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't feel the need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to quote unquote compete. Last season, 9240 trophies. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, as much as I can make a video about how I think that the game is moving towards so many different avenues of monetary gain for the company, you don't need to spend money, or you don't need to spend 500 PLN per month in order to have fun in this game. You could spend 250 PLN per month and probably still do pretty well if you're spending wisely and if you're upgrading smartly. Smartly? Smart. If you're upgrading smart, if you are smart while upgrading things, I don't know. Smartly doesn't sound like a word, which is ironic. But yeah, that's my video. Don't spend 500 PLN per month.